Hari Om. With the blessings of Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanand Maharaj and Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejomayanand, we will begin our study of this most wonderful text, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. I am very happy to see many of you, some familiar faces and some new faces. I would like all of you to be with me in this journey. It's a long journey, so you be with me. To study the entire Geeta might take nearly 2 years. Every month, first week of every month, we will study one chapter. Maybe sometimes we have to spend two months to study one chapter. But every month, 7 days we will study. Sometimes we might just conclude in half the chapter itself. Then we'll continue in the next yajna. Because the whole entire Bhagavad Gita is one unit. So we have to understand it as a whole. It will help us. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, as all of you know, is found in Mahabharata, and there are these 18 chapters. And as it was mentioned in the introduction, that it is one of the Prasthantrai, one of the 3 main books which one has to study in order to recognize our own self. So I will first briefly tell what is this Bhagavad Gita, and then we will take up some more questions. Because if we have to study Bhagavad Gita, first we should know what it is. Then only we can proceed further. So there are these 700 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, and it is a guide for all of us to live harmoniously in this world and also to attain our ultimate goal of our life, that is enlightenment. So the question comes in our mind that why should we study this Bhagavad Gita? What is this enlightenment and all? What is the purpose of studying this Bhagavad Gita? That should be clear first. Then only we will proceed further. If our purpose is not served by listening to Bhagavad Gita, then there is no need to listen. But if it is served, then we should listen regularly. So first of all, we will try to understand what exactly we want, what are we looking for, and whether it will be available by or attained by studying this Gita. So step by step we will proceed. Some of you who have been attending the other classes might know what is coming ahead, but it will be like a revision for you. And for others it might be new. But we have to systematically understand the whole thing. Because this Bhagavad Gita and our scriptures are like book of science. They are highly rational. They have to be understood properly, and then we have to put them into practice. In Geeta, 12th chapter, Bhagavan says that without understanding, one should not practice. Better to understand than to just practice something blindly. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanad dhyanam vishishyate. That shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, that better than just doing some practice. Well, practice means repetition. Practice means doing something continuously. It might form a deeper habit. And if it is wrong habit, then to correct it might take a lot of time. So first we should understand. And then we have to practice. So the first question we will take up now is, what exactly are we looking for in life? What do we want? हमको क्या चाहिए? What are we looking for? This we can understand by studying our desires. Because every action which we perform is propelled by our desires. You have come here propelled by desires. We do what we are doing in our life propelled by our desires. So everything which we do is preceded by our desires. So let us analyze these desires. We are born with these desires. So let us analyze first briefly our desires, and then we will know whether those things will be fulfilled by studying Bhagavad Gita or not. See, first thing which everyone desires, all living beings, without any exception, all living beings, they desire generally to live. In the animal kingdom and other kingdoms, they call it survival. Everyone has got this instinct deep in them. I want to survive. I want to live. Even if there are problems in life, we continue. We want to live. If we are sick, we go to the doctor. If we have some problem, we try to solve those problems. And we want to live. We want to live comfortably. We want to do all that is possible to make my life living comfortable. And for that I feel I should have a lot of money. To earn that money I should have proper education. Sometimes without education also you can earn. I don't want to give ideas, but possibilities are there. So we try to acquire money, wealth, property. We feel that will protect me. I have a family, I have friends, relatives. I feel they will protect me. A house. So all this I do in order to live, in order to survive. That is the basic instinct. And it's a very strong instinct. And this we see as I said, in everyone. And many people are driven by this instinct only. And for survival we feel money plays a very important role. So whole life sometimes revolves around this money only. We go to school, we go to college, we acquire degree so that we get a good job, or we can start a business to get money, or join politics or whatever to gain that wealth. So that is my basic instinct to live. But there are other desires then. What are those desires? To enjoy. I want to enjoy. I want to live and I want to enjoy. And this is the common philosophy of many people. Khao piyo mast raho. Enjoy life. Whenever there is danger for living, then we shift our attention from enjoyment and focus on that living. Suppose I am enjoying eating, drinking, being merry, but I fall sick, then I immediately rush to the doctor and correct myself. Once I am fine, again I go back to enjoyment. So living comfortably and enjoying my life. Those are the two very strong desires which many people they have. In our technical language, they are called artha and kama. Artha means desire to earn wealth, to protect myself. And kama means to enjoy. Very simple. Many people in this world, without the help of Bhagavad Gita, without the help of Vedas, without the help of God, according to them, without the help of any other so-called religion or scriptures, they live and they enjoy life also. Sometimes you find them enjoying more. You are busy studying Bhagavad Gita, they are watching some movie or something. So, in order to enjoy and in order to live, many people feel that there is no need to study the scriptures. So, chal jata hai. We have to just gain proper education, should have proper house to stay, relatives, friends, little social skills, interaction with people and all those things. All our work will be done. There is no need to study the Bhagavad Gita. Because what we want to achieve in order to survive and to enjoy, we can do it by putting forth effort, karma. When we put forth effort, we get what we want. We can see the relationship also. I do this work, I get this result. Sometimes I might not see the relationship, but other intelligent people come and tell me, ये काम करना है, उससे मिलो, शर्मा जी से. What is the connection? Connection hai Baba. Meet him. He will tell you more about the connection and all. And I do that, काम हो जाता है. So, in order to achieve things, means to live and to enjoy, I just have to do work in this world. Everything happens fine. No need for Bhagavad Gita. But there is one problem. Or you can say there are more than one problem. What are the problems? Sometimes we feel that we put forth effort, a lot of effort, still the work doesn't get done. Very strange thing happens. We put forth effort, work doesn't get done. Again, we put forth effort, gain everything. We have a house, we have wealth, we have friends, we have family, we have relatives. But I don't feel secure. All this I have acquired to live comfortably, but I don't feel secure. This deep sense of fear inside, sort of insecurity. Some people, they just get overpowered by this and look at everyone with samshay. I don't know. My relatives, friends. So even with all the wealth, we sometimes feel, or many times feel, insecure. So wealth doesn't make my living comfortable. We want to live and it becomes a danger. So there sometimes seems to be no relationship between security and acquiring wealth. That question I can't then answer. Then another thing happens, that I have all the facilities, equipments, things for enjoyment, but I don't feel happy. That is also there. There are many people in this world who have tremendous wealth, all the facilities. There are people ready to serve them, but happiness नहीं है. अंदर से कुछ, they feel some sort of incompleteness. Like we hear about Bhagwan Gautam Buddha's life also. His father provided everything for him. All the wealth and all the enjoyments. But still he felt deeply that something is missing in my life. Something is not proper. So it happens that though we want to live, and though we want to live happily, enjoy life, but we don't seem to attain it. As individuals we try, as family sometimes we try. If one person may not be intelligent, but together we can work towards making our life secure and enjoyable. वो भी नहीं होता है. As a society we try to make our life comfortable and enjoyable for everyone. That also sometimes doesn't get done. Again, we also see in life that there are a lot of questions about this karma. What are the questions? Sometimes we see that there are some people who don't do much, almost nothing, sometimes less than nothing. But still, they seem to be getting everything in life. Then there are others who are doing, struggling, being good, but getting into trouble. ऐसा भी हम देखते हैं. Then we also have people who are children born in the same family, but having different outlook for life, sometimes different talents. Some children are born blind, born with some defect. So a lot of questions come in our heart. What is the relationship? These are all results in my life. What is the relationship of action and the result which comes into my life? This is very important. What is the relationship between the action which we perform and the result which we gain in our life? Certain relationship we can see, certain we cannot see. It's like a great mystery. The laws of karma are like a great mystery. When that question comes into our mind, what is this karma? What is the relationship of this karma and this karma phala? Why do I get what I get? What are the various factors which are involved? Why am I born in a particular family? Why am I, even after struggling, I don't get what I want? See, if we just look at our life, sincerely, if you look at your life, you will not have even imagined in your wildest dream in your childhood where you are now. No? It just happens. Many things just happens. Like we may not have imagined that somebody will not switch off the phone. But it just happens. You don't have any control. Even after announcing, somebody may not switch off the phone. So a lot of things are there in life which are very difficult to comprehend, difficult to understand. But they also follow law of karma. Everything, our scriptures say, everything which we get is a result of our karma. In Ramayana there is a very beautiful incident. Ramchandraji, when he goes to the forest, Ram, Lakshmana and Sita ji, they are sleeping on the ground. They had made the bed of grass and they were sleeping. Lakshmana and Nishad Raj, they were awake, they were talking. And Lakshmana, this Nishad Raj, he said that, oh, such a bad thing. All this happened because of Kaikeyi. Though this is Bhagwan's avatar and his Leela and all, but a very important point which Lakshmana conveys to Nishad Raj, which is applicable to everyone. He says, Kahu na kohu sukha dukha kar data, nija krita karma bhog sab bhrata. That no one is the cause for our joys and sorrows. No individual, no other person is cause for my joys and sorrows. Then who is the cause? I myself am the cause. Others become sometimes nimitta, a bahana. Suppose I have to be in trouble, some person will come to trouble me. Because kuch to bahana chahiye. It cannot happen like a miracle. Suppose, according to my karma, I have to suffer, or I have to get some pain, or I have to, let us say, fall down. Bhagwan will make some arrangement. Some other person has got, according to his karma, or his intention is there to hurt someone. These two people are brought together. इसका कर्म हो जाता है, इसका कर्म फल हो जाता है. It's a very strange and a very complex and a very interesting world is this in which we are living. So there is a law of karma, law of action. Just like in the physical world there is law. I cannot do the experiment with my watch, but if I leave my hand, it will fall down. I mean, you have to believe that. It falls down according to the laws of physics. Matter and energy strictly follows the laws of physics. We can study, we can calculate, we can predict. I can send a satellite from here and predict where it will go exactly. If all the details are known, I can make it land exactly on the moon or on Mars exactly, or put it into orbit. Why? Because the matter and energy follows precise laws. In the same way, our mind, our intellect, through which we perform action, our body, our senses through which we perform action, they also follow precise laws. These laws of actions are called dharma. Briefly, dharma has got many meanings, we will see later on. But the dharma, that word, also means karma. And it means the laws of karma. Here comes the role of the scriptures. Because the physical laws of physics we can see. This is the action, this is the reaction we can see. Certain actions we can see the result immediately. Yeah? You say something bad to a person, immediately he reacts. Certain actions and reactions we can see immediate. We can relate. But certain actions and their result we cannot relate. They are very subtle. There are certain results which we gain. For example, without any rhyme or reason. Sometimes we feel very happy. You must have experienced. कुछ नहीं, reason कुछ नहीं है. Reason कुछ नहीं means you don't know the reason. Means there is no outward reason. Sometimes outwardly it is bad reason also. इतना कुछ नहीं, fail हो गया मैं. But I am happy. So, without any rhyme or reason, sometimes we feel very happy. Again, without any rhyme or reason, or without knowing exactly what is the connection, we feel unhappy. We feel unhappy. The scripture says, the laws of dharma says, that this happiness and unhappiness you are experiencing is the result of certain karmas. When we perform certain karmas which are called punya, gives happiness. Certain karmas which are called papa, they give unhappiness. And depending on the karma, depending on the intensity, depending on the attitude and all those about these karmas, the result come either immediately or after a long time, or maybe in future, or maybe in our future life also. So when the question comes of dharma, of understanding the secrets of this karma, of understanding the secret behind my happiness and sorrow, of getting that which will give me supreme feeling of security and supreme joy. Everyone wants, as I said, to live, and everyone wants to enjoy. But two things are there. One is, we want to live permanently, eternally. We want to live eternally. Though it is not possible, but deep desire is there. We want to live eternally. It means we don't want to go into non-existence. And we want to enjoy eternally. We want eternal happiness and eternal life. Deeply that desire is there. So when we study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita tells us about this dharma, this law of karma. As we study, it will become more clear. Bhagavad Gita tells us that you might know what action will give you wealth. You might know what action will give you immediate enjoyment. But Bhagavad Gita tells us about those actions which will give us lasting happiness, which will make our life more holistic, more harmonious, fulfilling. And Bhagavad Gita tells us that if I follow this, I will be able to attain the ultimate state of enlightenment, what it is we will see. So Bhagavad Gita gives us tells us the relationship of those karmas which are ordinarily not understood or understandable. What is the result of what happens when we do japa? What happens when we do karma like puja? What happens when we do some yajna? What happens when we do dana? What happens when we do some other special sadhanas like pranayam, tapas? What is the relationship of this karma to the result is understood and known through the Bhagavad Gita. So those who are only interested in living and enjoying and not going further and sometimes getting the feeling of insecurity, sometimes becoming unhappy, they might not understand the value of Gita. But those who want to make their life more fulfilling, those who want to understand the purpose of our life and to fulfill that purpose, the study of Bhagavad Gita becomes very important. So the third type of desire which comes in our heart is about this dharma. It is about becoming good, becoming better, gaining a superior type of feeling of security and superior type of joy in life. Our Pujya Guruji says that rather than trying to acquire same type of happiness, more and more happiness of the same type, try to acquire happiness, higher and higher type of happiness. Generally people, they feel happy just indulging in some physical pleasures. Others, they feel happy by indulging in something which excites or gives joy to the mind. But all these are temporary joys of life. So when we study Bhagavad Gita, it tells us what are those actions, what are those special karmas which we can perform, which can make our life more fulfilling. So the one thing which Gita tells us is a right way of action. Then this dharma or becoming good itself is not our final goal. What is our final goal? What do we want ultimately? Ultimately, what are we seeking? See, all of us are seeking, really speaking, moksha only. Moksha doesn't mean death. Moksha means freedom from all sorrow. Moksha means freedom from pain. Moksha means freedom from fear. Moksha means freedom from all limitations. Moksha means acquiring eternal life. Moksha means gaining supreme happiness. Technically, in our scripture, it is said, Atyantika dukkha nivrutti and paramananda prapti. Atyantika dukkha nivrutti means complete freedom from all sorrow and attaining that supreme joy. When? After death? No, here and now. It is possible. It might appear very strange, it might appear very wonderful, but it is possible. So Bhagavad Gita shows us the path of dharma and it shows us the path of moksha also. So there are these 4 types of desires which everyone has got. Desire to live, desire to enjoy. But this doesn't satisfy us. We find some shortcomings in them. We try to find out how we can live comfortably, have that feeling of security, and have joy. That we will understand when we follow the path of dharma. And path of dharma opens up the gate for moksha also. So that is what we will be able to understand when we study this Bhagavad Gita. See, as we proceed step by step, it will become more and more clear. So I don't want to, in the first day itself, I don't want to frighten you with a lot of things. Let us now do some chanting. There is a very beautiful dhyana shloka written on Bhagavad Gita. So we'll study that. I will chant that dhyana shlokam. During this week, I will also tell you briefly the background of this Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata story and all. But now we will do some chanting. I would like all of you to bring this book with you, Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have at home, you can buy it here. And so it will be like a study. When we sit here, we will study Bhagavad Gita. It's like adhyayan we will do. So we'll chant this. Those who have this Gita Dhyanam will chant. You repeat after me. And those who don't have a book with them, you can just listen and try to repeat. It's a good exercise. In the good old days, this was the system. We used to just listen to the teacher and repeat. So let us chant. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Fullarvindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Geeta Amritaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsasudhir Bhokta Dugdham Geetamritam Mahata वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः This is a beautiful dhyana shloka. It is written by Shri Madhusudan Saraswati. He was a great master, and before we study the Bhagavad Gita, generally we chant this dhyana shloka. It introduces the whole of Bhagavad Gita also very beautifully, and it prepares the mind. So briefly I will tell you what is the main teaching of this Bhagavad Gita. What is it trying to teach us? There is this situation in which Arjuna is there and he finds himself in this difficult situation. I will tell you the story of Mahabharata, but not today. It's very interesting, so that you can know the whole background and you will understand exactly what was Arjuna's situation, problem, and how Bhagwan Shri Krishna, by telling him this Geeta, he resolved that problem. Now one may say that Arjuna's problem, what that has got to do with me? But we will find that what is Arjuna's problem is also our problem also. And what is the solution for Arjuna is also solution for us. There are these 18 chapters are there. The first chapter gives a general background of the whole this Mahabharata war and where this Bhagavad Gita was revealed. And from second chapter onwards, Bhagwan starts his teaching. Here in this, we have chanted in this our dhyana shloka, कि ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यम योगिनः. That one comes to realize one's own self in the state of dhyana. So what is this dhyana will be revealed in Bhagavad Gita. In order to do this dhyana, we should have proper knowledge. That knowledge is also revealed in Bhagavad Gita. In order to prepare ourselves for that knowledge, one has to do some upasana. Those upasanas are also revealed in Bhagavad Gita. In order to make our entry in Bhagavad Gita, we have to perform certain type of action with certain type of attitude. That is also revealed in Bhagavad Gita. These four main topics are there. Karma, upasana, jnana and dhyana. Okay, four main topics. सबसे पहले कर्म से शुरुआत करनी चाहिए. Our spiritual journey begins when we rectify our action. See, everyone performs action. There is no need to tell a person that you have to perform action. Everyone performs action. But there is a need to tell what type of action we should perform and how we should perform. For example, little children, when they are hungry, whatever comes in front of them, they put it in their mouth. Eh? But the parents have to tell them what type of food they should eat and how they should eat. That has to be taught. वैसे ही, every one of us, we perform karma. But what type of karma I should perform and how I should perform, that has to be taught to us. So that is the first lesson which Bhagavad Gita teaches us. It's called Karma Yoga. कर्म योग से शुरुआत करनी चाहिए. कर्म हम सभी करते हैं. All of us, we do karma. But we have to become karma yogi. Just performing lot of karma is not called karma yoga. Some people have the wrong notion that बहुत मैं तो right from morning to evening I do lot of karma, I am a great karma yogi. Some people feel that performing some special type of karma is karma yoga. But no, karma yoga has got a specific understanding, meaning. So first we have to understand what type of karma I have to perform, what type of action I have to perform. From action our journey starts. Action has got two results. One which we can see outwardly, and another result happen within. For example, somebody is hungry, I give food to that person. Outwardly, you can see the result. The person feels satisfied, the hunger goes away. It is measurable. But this action, if performed with proper attitude, with proper understanding, faith, it gives internal result also, which is not seen immediately. You understand? So every action which we perform, it has got this subtle internal result also. So in the world, generally people know only about the external results. ये करने से ये मिल जाता है, ये करने से ये मिल जाता है. But there are, like for example, some person may try to find some shortcut. If I go by straight method, I will not get it very easily. थोड़े crookedly जाने से वो मिल जाता है. So you do some crookedness, you do some corruption, and we get the result. So we see the action, we see the result. But this has got some effect on my internal system also. It has got some influence. Nothing is free in this world. If I take something, I have to give something in return. So every action has got this result. Externally we can see, but internally also. So how to improve, how to make my action proper? That is the first lesson in Bhagavad Gita. Make your actions perfect, proper, so that your life outwardly become harmonious and your life within become more peaceful and happy. This can be achieved only through action. Action with right attitude. उसी से बहुत कुछ हो जाता है. The other day one person came to meet me from abroad somewhere. Not an Indian. So he was in search of spirituality in India. So they happened to come to meet me. So he asked me many questions. But then he said, please, Swamiji, can you tell spirituality in 4 steps? Without using any technical terms. 4 steps में spirituality हमको बता दीजिए. So I told him, I will tell you also. I might increase or decrease steps later on, but now 4 steps I will tell you. First thing I said, one should fulfill all our responsibilities. That is the first step of spirituality. If you don't fulfill your responsibility towards yourself, towards your family, towards your society, towards your nation, then you have not entered, you have not taken the first step of spirituality. One has to fulfill. We have certain responsibility towards ourselves, and we have towards our family and society, etc. We have to fulfill our responsibility. What is my responsibility? That also I have to understand. But I have to fulfill my responsibility with proper attitude. Very important. If I don't do what I should do, and if I do what I should not do, it creates lot of agitations in my mind, creates unrest in the world around, creates disharmony. Fulfillment of responsibility. If everyone fulfills their responsibility, no one will have to fight for their rights. See, in a watch also, there are so many parts are there. And each and every part in a watch, especially in the good old days, used to have those mechanical watches. If you open them, you will find a lot of wheels and this and gears and all sorts of things. And every part have their responsibility. Towards whom? Towards the entire watch. And if all of them fulfill their responsibility, the watch functions in a perfect way. There are some gears which have to move little faster. But they should not complain, मेरे को इतना फास्ट चलना पड़ता है, इसको देखो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता चलता. हाँ. Some move very fast. But each according to their own place, they are given certain responsibility by the watchmaker. And the watchmaker has those, each parts will not know. They might not know anything about the time also, but they are given their responsibility. And when they fulfill their responsibility properly, then the whole watch function as they say clockwork precision, most beautiful way. Similarly, our scriptures, when they talk about dharma, they are talking about responsibility for whom? For human beings. Dharma is not meant for animal, birds, plant. They don't have to follow certain rules, regulations. They are guided by nature directly. Animals don't have to get up early morning and do some japa or meditation and all. They are guided by nature. So this dharma is given to human beings because we have the capacity to follow, we have the capacity to understand. So when all of us, we fulfill our responsibility properly, not only our life becomes good, but the whole society and everything becomes good. So when we are talking of Bhagavad Gita, it is not only guidance for one person, it's guidance for the whole society. It's very deep and very interesting. So as we study it, you will understand the depth and the beauty of this text. So the first step which I said is fulfill your responsibility. Second step I said, to whom? That person, is to gain proper understanding, knowledge of the whole mechanism of this world. Relationship of jivas to each other. Relationship of the jiva with this world. Relationship of this world and the jivas to God. Gain proper knowledge of the whole mechanism of everything. That also we gain through the scriptures. That is the second thing. Third thing is feel your connection with that divinity. Through knowledge we come to know that in everything, that one supreme divine being alone is there everywhere. There is something or someone who is called that Ishvara pervades each and everything of this world. All of us are connected through Ishvara. All of us, as in Gita Bhagavan says, Sutre Manigana iva. Just like in the mala, each and every bead is connected by the thread. Similarly, every being and every object of this world is connected by Ishvara. So the third step in spirituality, I said, is to feel the connection, experience the connection. This we can do by seva, through love, through meditation. Experience your connection with that divinity which is there present in you and in around you. And the fourth step is to surrender to this divinity. Surrender to this divinity. So these four steps are said here in Bhagavad Gita. First is karma yoga. Fulfill your responsibility. As an individual, as a family, as a society, as a nation, fulfill all your responsibility. To understand our responsibility, we study the scriptures. Then second, upasana is mentioned. Try to experience the presence of divinity in every aspect of life. That's called upasana. When we do puja, भगवान की पूजा हम करते हैं, मंदिर में या मूर्ति की पूजा हम करते हैं. What we have to do, we know that that murti is made up of stone. But we have to feel, we have to accept the presence of God in that murti. That's called upasana. I will give an example, like our nation. We have our flag. After a lot of thinking, they finally decided that this should be the color and all, the tricolor. Everyone knows flag is made up of cloth. But we invoke the presence of the nation in that flag. We salute the flag. We salute the nation through the flag. We feel that respecting the flag is respecting the nation. Insulting the flag is insulting the nation. So to keep that attitude in that flag helps me to develop that patriotism, that love for my country. Similarly, when I develop that attitude of divinity in a rock, in the water, in a tree, in the sun, in the moon, in any object of this world, when I practice that, slowly and steadily, I come to understand and feel the presence of divinity everywhere. That's called upasana. I get connected to that link. See, just like nowadays we use mobile. Everyone knows that if you are not connected, you are not connected. Out of range, pata nahi, out of range hai idhar udhar. Some people jump, go on the terrace, they climb trees, they go there, here, there. Kya ho gaya? Why are you climbing trees? Nahi, I am out of range. Then suddenly they find that they are in range. Similarly, we should be in the range of Bhagwan. We should feel His presence at all time. That is the phala of upasana. That is the second stage in our spiritual journey which Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Upasana. A lot of beautiful passages are there where Bhagwan shows us, tells us how we can do this upasana. Upasana से क्या होता है? My mind, my intellect start becoming more and more pure. More and more I start getting tuned to that divinity. More and more I start getting that joy which is within me, which doesn't require anything else. More and more I become peaceful and happy. When individuals become peaceful, the society becomes peaceful. Lot of crime, this, that goes away. Why there are all this? Because we are unhappy within. We are restless. We are looking for something outside. So this upasana help us to feel the presence of the divinity within me and around me. So there is a specific technique of going through this. So that is the second thing which Bhagavad Gita teaches us. The third thing which Bhagavad Gita will teach us is this knowledge. It's most amazing. All of us, we look different, we behave differently. I am aware of my own presence, I am aware of the presence of this world. God is not seen. Cause of this world is not seen. But the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita will tell you कि भगवान कहाँ छिपे हैं और उनको कैसे प्राप्त करना है, कैसे उनका अनुभव करना है. How we can recognize that divinity is a fact. Ishvara is a fact. Just as I can see you, Ishvara is also present. We can experience him. Bhagwan tells Arjuna, I will tell you how you can experience me. See, just by looking at Bhagwan's body, Arjuna will not experience divinity. He has to enter, he has to go within. So that Bhagwan will teach us knowledge. And the final thing is the dhyana. It is called in Vedanta, it's called nididhyasan. After gaining proper understanding, when we follow this path of nididhyasan, it leads to final realization, enlightenment, or aporoksha anubhuti, direct experience of our identity with Ishvara. So that is the final step. That itself is like surrender. After gaining that jnanavan mam prapadyate, Bhagavan says, those who gain this understanding, they surrender to me. So, meditation or surrender happens finally, and one comes to recognize one's identity. Now, very interesting thing. After recognizing one's identity, one continues to see the world. Not that one remains with eyes closed in some samadhi avastha. One continues to see the world. One continues to interact with the world. But everything is seen in a different way altogether. It is said a realized person sees the whole world in his own self, and he sees himself in the entire world. He sees in everyone the same God, and he sees everything in that God. So he is called a Jivan Mukta, a Stita Prajna, Gunatita, Bhakta, various terms Bhagavan, Yogi, various terms Bhagavan used for a realized master. So that state of enlightenment we can gain and live in this world as enlightened beings. There's a very interesting text called Tripura Rahasya. There is a story in that it's a dialogue between Dattatreya Avdut, Dattatreya Rishi, great Bhagwan's avatar, and Parshuramji. He teaches him this knowledge, and while teaching he tells a story of Hemachuda and Hemalekha. Hemachuda was a prince. He gets married to this Hemalekha. Hemalekha is an enlightened person. That lady was an enlightened being. So he gets married to her. She comes to her palace. And then she starts teaching him this, giving him this knowledge. After learning, after following the process and meditation and all, he becomes enlightened. His father and brother wonders कि क्या हो गया इसको आजकल. Means he does all his job, but he is totally different. So they have a chat with him. They learn from him. They become enlightened. Then all the ministers, they become enlightened. All the other people of the society, they become enlightened. So much so that even the parrots, they also not become enlightened, but they also chant words of wisdom. So the whole city becomes known as Vidyanagar. It is possible. Even the story in Ramayana is there of Raja Janak. His whole kingdom was of enlightened beings. It is possible that we can all live in this world as an enlightened being. In the very beginning of this, people were so illiterate, and there was this thing that everyone should become literate. Then there was this thing that everyone should get proper education. Sometimes literacy is there, but person may not be educated. But what is now required is education itself will not transform human beings. What is required is spiritual knowledge, which will transform us, make us into enlightened being. We can live in this world as an enlightened being. That path is shown to us in Bhagavad Gita. So we'll conclude here today. Tomorrow we'll continue. So you can inform your friends and relatives also. All of them can come, listen to this, and together we'll walk on this journey till we reach that state of enlightenment. So only 4 steps are there. ज़्यादा नहीं. What are the 4 steps? कर्म, उपासना, ज्ञान और ध्यान. बस. ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.